welcome to Jay's Talk. I hope you enjoyed episode 2, and let's get into episode 3.
Hey everyone, this is Jay, and I just wanted to mention something before we start today's episode, which is podcasts in general. If you've ever thought about starting your own or just listening, I would check out an app on your phone called Anchor. It's available in the Apple App Store and Android App Store. So check it out or go to your computer, anchor.fm. It's really cool. It's 100% free, ridiculously easy to use, and you can get sponsored and get paid. I would definitely try it out if you wanted to start your own podcast or just listen to some other ones. All right, let's get into today's episode.
Okay, like I said, welcome back, and I really hope you enjoyed last week's episode. Doing more to improve. I took some of your suggestions in, and I have a lot to talk about today. So, as I'm sure you've read, the topic of this week's episode is friendship. And I will get into that, but I want to talk about our normal things first, the music, fashion, things like that. So let's get that out of the way, and then let's get maybe a little deep. All right, so let's start off with music and the top 100 global charts. Not much has changed. We still have second place Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, third Juicy Slide by Drake, and 4 Flex, that's a new one for the top 5, and so is Trillionaire by Future. Rockstar's been up there, but I'm really sad that I guess it's pretty new. It just came out. You're hearing this on Monday, and the song came out on Friday. Rain on Me by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande, and I don't even see that in the top 20, and that breaks my heart because it was such a good song. So go give it a listen. But yeah, we still got 6ix9ine in the top 10, Drake. It's pretty much the same. Not much has changed over the week. But maybe since the songs just came out, or the song, that'll change. I'm hoping that I can climb up there a bit because Stupid Love did when that came out. All right, so obviously the song of the week is Rain on Me by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande. It's not the most poetic song, put it that way, but it's so catchy, and I just love Lady Gaga, so I'm gonna be super biased here, and I'm sorry. I just am. It was a really good song, so that's the song of the week. All right, so jumping into fashion, I'm very disappointed to see that still on the trending section we have smock dresses, the same exact article I read you last week, and that upsets me because first, I wasn't a big fan of them. Second of all, that's a whole news cycle and they're still at the top. So maybe I need to give them another try. Maybe I need to look them up. Maybe I need to wear one. I don't know. And then another surprising article I'm reading is a pair of Michael Jordans, the original Air Jordan 1s. They are up for auction, and right now I think they originally went for $150K, and now they're auctioning. They confirmed the authenticity, and the shoe went for $437,000 last time it was auctioned off, and now it's going to be auctioned off again. So I guess that's big news in the fashion world. It's also signed by, let's see. Oh, well, Michael Jordan, obviously. So I guess that's why they're so popular. I don't get it. I don't know. I never was a sneaker person. I was always just, throw on a nice pair of Vans and head out. Honestly, that's pretty much it I have for fashion this week. I gave you my opinions. I read an article and I just wasn't too impressed, honestly. So let's transition into the topic of the week, which is friendship. So I chose this topic of the week because not really one particular person, but just because of this whole quarantine and self quarantine and everything that's been going on, any relationship really is getting pretty rocky right now. And, it's hard to keep that bond. And first of all, there are many different types of friendships. I mean, everybody has a lot of best friends, and everybody has a lot of friends, and everybody has a lot of acquaintances. Um, but there's definitely different levels of trust that you give out to your friends. And I think everybody definitely has a number one. And um, if I didn't have my best friend to, you know, slap me when I'm doing, you know, dumb shit, or just if I didn't have her, I wouldn't be me. So thank you. And so far we've made it work to the whole quarantine thing, me and my closest friend I'm talking about right now, which I like. And so there are some times where, we've had scares, where one of our parents working at some medical facility, we couldn't see each other, but I really admire, her and I as a friend, as a friendship, just for really keeping up with each other and not losing touch, because that's really important right now. And especially being, as safe as I'm being. I know there are a lot of people out there who are, just walking around the street without a mask, in a group of 6 people, and that's their business. But I'm being a little more cautious, and so are my friends. And I'm glad for that. But it definitely puts a strain on your relationship, and you gotta you gotta do your best to work on that, try to work through that, and it definitely helps. And I think times like this really show you who your true friends are, and that's an important lesson to learn. So there's different types of friendships, there's different types of relationships, and all that. And it all just comes down to trust, I think, and how much you can trust a person. And one of the worst things right now is being single in this quarantine time, because it is the worst time to date. You're meeting new people who you don't know where they've been, you're not in contact with them. So, you know, you don't want to do that. And um, especially for the LGBTQ plus community, who mainly meet people online, it's very scary because these people are complete strangers to you, but you want to date, people are at that age, especially me, and you really have to be cautious, which sucks. And we will end that topic here. So, in last week's episode, I asked a couple questions about the podcast, how it's doing, what you wanted me to talk about, and if you wanted me to have some guests. And for the 29 people that have listened to my podcast so far, the most requested thing was a guest. So, if you think you have something interesting enough to keep my attention, to come on here and talk about, definitely message me. Hit me up on one of my social media sites. I'd love to um, virtually have a little tiny interview over this podcast, especially if that's what the 29 people who I call my audience want to hear. Okay, and one final thing I want to talk about, and this kind of ties in with relationships, which is texting, and how much I hate it and love it at the same time. Because I'm a needy person. I'll be the first to say that. I'm a needy, jealous person, and there's nothing I can do about that. So I like to stay in contact with people that I care about, and sometimes people don't always like to do that. But at the same time, I really overthink what people say, and just their text messages, just, the way they use lowercase and uppercase, the way they use punctuation. It's just, I overthink every single thing. If you say just okay to me, I'm going to think, was that a nice okay or was that a rude okay? Or if you just an emoji, that's my pet peeve. When I send someone like a sentence or at least, and they send me back just one emoji, I cannot stand it. You can get off my contact list right now. It's just the worst. Because what do you say back to an emoji? Another emoji? And then what happens? Stupid. So, breaking news in politics, and this is Saturday, the 22nd, that I'm reading this. Michigan's Attorney General says she will not remain silent as Trump risks public health. And she's stirring up quite a national uproar with this statement she's made. And I am interested to see where it goes and how it affects the upcoming election. And a funny article that I came across when I was looking up political news. And this actually came from Politico 2 hours ago. And it's just a quote. It says, I hope hand lotion does not cause cancer because we've been using a lot of it. I cannot believe that. And it's just a picture of two men in business suits and masks. And for the younger audience, I will just leave that there for everyone to pick up on their own. P.S. Vaseline is better. All right, all joking aside, and I had fun with that one. I just wanted to say that I hope everyone is staying safe, washing their hands, wearing masks, wearing gloves, doing everything they can to protect themselves. Because, no matter what you think about this virus, treat it as real, treat it as something that's happening, because it is happening. No matter, if you want to believe it or not, this is something that's happening, and we need to treat it like it is happening. It's just the unfortunate way that things are right now. So I'll leave you with that. And I also hope you enjoyed the episode. Of course, I would want the feedback again. Please message me on Anchor, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. They're all here. They're all for you to see. And I also I don't know if I mentioned, I set up a website for the podcasts, and it's just www.jaystalk.com. And every episode is going to be uploaded there the week after it's uploaded to Anchor. So all the episodes are going to be uploaded to Anchor first. You'll get a week to listen to them on here and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and then everything will be uploaded to YouTube and the website. There's also a spot on the website to send comments or, like I said, send it through social media. All right, goodbye and have a great week. Thank you for listening to
Jay's Talk. Oh yeah.
I completely forgot to say Happy Memorial Day and thank you to every man and woman and everyone who just serves and protects our country. And a special thank you to someone I know who does that. Forgot to add that, so I wanted to throw it in.